Before the Justice League hits theaters and teams up a huge band of superheroes, you can learn about their origins in the comic books. See all of the differences on how the Justice League in print will differ from the Justice League on film. This includes missing heroes, crazy villains, and connections to Green Arrow and the CW's Arrowverse. Before you watch, click subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of brand new content. And can you guess which movie is represented by these emojis? Stay tuned at the end to find out. Green Arrow's support and discovery. It was pretty disappointing that the DC Extended Universe decided to separate from the DC Arrowverse created on television. One of the biggest reasons for this is that the Green Arrow played a key role in forming the Justice League. Someone has to pay for all of those crazy gadgets, travel plans, and suit upgrades. In the comic books, the Justice League received anonymous financial support, which was later revealed to be directly from Oliver Queen, aka the Green Arrow. After joining the Justice League, the Green Arrow did a little digging of his own and found the secret origins of how the team actually formed. Published in the 144th edition of the series in 1977, the Green Arrow discovers that several other heroes were involved with the team. This includes Robin, Rex the Wonder Dog, and a lesser-known hero referred to as Robot Man. Obviously, filmmakers went with the more well-known Cyborg. It will be interesting to see if any Justice League sequels add these heroes and expand on the group like the comic books did. At least adding the Green Arrow could help explain how the group is funded and operates without worrying of overdoing their crazy costs. The Appellaxian. Alien invaders will be one of the themes for Justice League, but it's going to be much different than it was first portrayed in the original comics. In the movie, the team of heroes must wage battle against Steppenwolf, an alien army general that seeks to conquer Earth and take it over. Steppenwolf is serious, massive, and is going to be a huge threat when he takes on the Justice League. The aliens that invaded Earth in the original Justice League comic book didn't seem so threatening. Known as Appellaxian, the creatures were more nature-based and cartoonish in appearance. The species is divided among 4 different groups, including walking wood kings, stone gods, crystal creatures, and gold rocks. While these characters worked fine in the comics, it would have been a little more challenging to make them seem convincing in the movies. The grounded design and production of Justice League needed a more realistic villain that could be portrayed on the big screen. Steppenwolf should prove to be a great villain, and while working under Darkseid, it may show that there is more than just one villain than Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and the Flash are going up against. Connections to the Arrowverse. The CW's Arrowverse has created a DC world all of its own. Not only have they been successful with shows like Arrow, The Flash, and Supergirl, but they have used dozens of characters from the DC comics. These characters are well established on the show, and many fans may not realize that they are actually part of the Justice League formation. Throughout the comic book history, there have been many forms of the Justice League. In early 2017, DC Comics launched the Justice League Rebirth comic. This issue showcased a new formation of the Justice League, and it included many members that will not be seen in the movie. This includes some key characters from the Arrowverse. Caitlin Snow has been on the Flash TV series since the first episode, and her alter ego on Earth 2 is the meta-human known as Killer Frost. The Black Canary has been a pivotal character on Arrow, and she works alongside Batman in the Rebirth story. The Atom also appears in this version, but is a completely different character than Ray Palmer's Atom seen on the Legends of Tomorrow. While it would be nice to see one or more of these characters in the Justice League movie, who knows what kinds of cameos they'll sneak into the production. An Avengers crossover. While the Justice League is already destined to be a major success, many fans and critics will spend weeks comparing it to the Avengers. The Marvel Comics hero team has found huge success with multiple movies, and it's only natural to compare the competing companies. If filmmakers were smart, then they could see the huge money that would come if the Justice League and the Avengers did a crossover movie together. Surprisingly enough, it was actually done in the comics and simply known as JLA/Avengers. The miniseries was a huge landmark for Marvel and DC Comics as they spent years trying to develop some type of crossover story. Aquaman interacts with Thor, Captain America interacts with Superman, and all of the characters collide in a story that spans multiple worlds and universes. While the comic book panels were epic enough back in 2003, it would be even more incredible to see it on the big screen. As the DCEU still tries to find their grounding in cinema, don't expect a crossover anytime soon. If one does happen, it'll likely occur long after Robert Downey Jr. retires the Iron Man suit and Ben Affleck hangs up his cape for good. It would probably need a whole new cast and a lot of miracles to get past the developmental process. Missing the Green Lantern. In the comics, there were many pivotal moments that helped form the Justice League. The Green Lantern was one of them. Hal Jordan was a founding member of the Justice League as he donned the trademark suit as the Green Lantern. He joined forces with Batman to recruit Superman and stop the impending doom that came from invading alien forces. When the Justice League big screen heroes were announced, it was clear that the Green Lantern was a huge omission. Fans of the comics noticed this right away, and it was one of the first criticisms about the DCEU's casting decisions for Justice League. It only makes sense on the part of the DCEU. The Green Lantern film starring Ryan Reynolds was a huge bust for the company and did nothing to help jumpstart the DCEU for them. As Man of Steel and other DC films got put into development, a reboot of Green Lantern kept getting pushed back. By the time Justice League started filming, it was a little too late to include the hero and do him any justice. He needs his own film to help develop the character, and then hopefully he can join back up with another Justice League movie down the line.
Do you bleed?
Batman is the leader. Several scenes in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice have set up the formation of the Justice League. When watching those scenes again and the released footage for the new movie, one thing is clear: Batman is the leader of the Justice League. While this makes sense with the film's plot, it is far different from the comic book origins. Yes, Batman and Superman were a huge part of the Justice League, but they often sat on the back burner while other heroes took the mantle as the leader. When looking back at old covers for the original Justice League of America, you can see that Batman and Superman are rarely a part of the designs. It seemed like Wonder Woman, The Flash, and Aquaman were the ones really in charge. By looking at early footage, it seems like Aquaman seems to have a big role in this Justice League film, although he does ditch the ultra-blonde hair and green suit. The first prominent Superman cover wasn't until issue 25, and Batman's didn't come until issue 26. It'll be interesting to see how Batman plays the role of the leader and if he butts heads with a few of the heroes along the way. The Justice League location. The majority of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice took place in Gotham and Metropolis. This only makes sense as they are the cities that Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent take residence in. It looks like those cities will be featured in Justice League as Batman uses the Batcave for a lot of resources and information. The dark and crime-riddled cities featured in the film are a far cry from Chosen City for the original Justice League. In the first comic books, the Justice League needed a secret hideout where they could hold meetings and work together as a team. The group ended up choosing the fictional city known as Happy Harbor, Rhode Island. The small city was obscure enough to keep the Justice League away from the general public. The town didn't do much to serve the heroes other than a secret location. It seems kind of inconvenient for the heroes to travel all the way to the small state of Rhode Island, especially for people like Batman who have to fly or drive. This is actually a change that makes sense for the film, as the addition of Happy Harbor wouldn't do much for their needs story-wise. Missing the Martian Manhunter. Some heroes served a pivotal role in the formation of the Justice League, and it's kind of an injustice to exclude them from the movie. One of these characters is the Martian Manhunter. The alien hero has been part of the DC Comics universe since 1955 and was just as important as the other heroes like Batman and the Flash back in the day. He was originally a part of the Detective Comics series before branching off and becoming one of the charter members of the Justice League. The Martian Manhunter has very similar powers to Superman. This is probably one of the main reasons why he was removed from the film. The Martian Manhunter has superhuman strength, durability, the ability to fly, can read minds, and deliver blasts from his eyes. One of his only weaknesses is fire, making it a challenge to depict the character on the big screen and have someone that fans can connect with. While Martian Manhunter does not appear in the DCEU on the big screen, he does appear in nearly every episode of the DC television show Supergirl. The Manhunter can be seen in both his human and alien form throughout various episodes of the show. The Justice League mascot. Believe it or not, the Justice League originally started out with a mascot. No, it wasn't a man dressed in a giant bat costume or a bunch of cheerleaders in Wonder Woman outfits. It was a character by the name of Snapper Carr. Snapper was like the Fonzie of the Justice League. He wore a stylish leather jacket, he would snap his fingers, and was always looking out for the Justice League. During the Justice League's first adventure, Snapper helped them out, even though he actually has no superpowers of his own. He named an honorary member of the League, often referred to as their official mascot, and received a special communication device that could alert the heroes. In today's world, a character like Snapper is way too corny to include in the realistic version of the Justice League movie. An older version of the character did appear in Supergirl, but he will not be on the big screen. One of the more interesting things that the character did do in the comics was turn on the Justice League and reveal their secret hideout to the Joker. Maybe that could be a surprise end credit sequence for the film. Starro the Conqueror. Sometimes it's hard to create a good superhero film villain. You don't want them to come off as over-the-top, cheesy, or look too fake on the screen. Film villains like Ultron, the Vulture, and Zod have all succeeded for their realistic nature and ability to create some real tension on the screen. The same cannot be said for one of the Justice League's first challengers, known as Starro the Conqueror. Looking like something out of a low-budget Godzilla film, Starro the Conqueror was a giant alien starfish that challenged the Justice League. First appearing in The Brave and the Bold number 28, the huge creature is what caused the Justice League to form together and fight it off. It would be hard to imagine seeing such a goofy character appear in the Justice League. The only part that it would make sense would be a small cameo during some of the establishing scenes for Aquaman. A brief underwater battle with Starro would serve as a great homage to the original Justice League comic. Let's just say that Steppenwolf was a better choice as the giant villain for the League to take on. Leave Starro to the comics or some of the animated series. Wow, there you have it. What difference do you think is the most drastic? What do you think they should have kept from the Justice League comics? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Screen Rant on YouTube so you can stay up to date with all of our awesome videos. The answer to our emoji quiz is, well, did you get it? Let us know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching.